Hello there, I'm Scotty. You're not. Welcome back to not only Nick Month 2, this time it's personal, but we're in the middle of SpongeBob week. Kinda. The 5 days of SpongeBob. Which would be more appropriate to call it, I guess. And today we're talking about the 2007 special, Atlantis Squarepantis, which means that this has gone past Retro Rewind, and finally you get a second episode of From the Vault, because from 2007 to 2011, 2015, I don't know anymore. 2013, I don't know. I had an itch. I should have done it before I started recording. Itchy. Alright. So this this is another one that I remember seeing advertised all over the place as a special. It was actually a special. It was 40 minutes long, hour with commercials. There was commercials in this, but or ads, I should say, because I have ads on my Paramount Plus. So, yeah, the story is that SpongeBob and Patrick accidentally end up finding the other half to an Atlantean omelet, and it takes them to Atlantis. And yeah, a lot of people would say they go to Atlantis and they pop the world's longest existing bubble, but that's just like minor. The plot, can you say a plot? Because they don't get to the vault and see the bubble till like, that's like the third act. That's what starts the third act, so it's really not anything. There's also these interstitials. This is one of those things hosted by Patchy the Pirate, which is also played by Tom Kenny. And he pops in and out with a story that kind of... I read reviews. I looked on the reception on Wikipedia. Apparently, a lot of people didn't like Patchy's story, and I can see why. It really has no connection other than he can't find Encino, California, so it's literally a lost city, like Atlantis. So he tells the story about how SpongeBob and his friends found Atlantis. Kind of... yeah, because it starts with him in traffic, trying to find his way to Atlantis, or trying to find his way back home. He's stuck in traffic. He finally gets there, and everything is gone. It's just sand, which is not how it would be. There would still be grass, but okay. And he doesn't know where it is. So he tells the story of how they found Atlantis. And then intercut in between is stuff with him. And so what's confusing is we later find out that Atlantis, or Encino, was shrunk by an alien kid who used a shrink machine. But Potty, that being Patchy's parrot, shows up frequently to help him, give him a sandwich, stuff like that. He doesn't like mayo on his sandwich, mayo on a sandwich is good. I don't know what he's talking about. Also, I feel like Tom Kenny goes in and out of the pirate voice when he yells. He even doesn't keep up the pirate motif when he's yelling. At one point he yells, "I'm talking to my parrot!" Excuse me, it should be, "I'm talking to me, parrot. I'm talking to me, parrot." I think he would know how a pirate would talk. But yeah, that's the... and then it ends with a giant parrot. Giant parrot. How he got giant, I don't know. It makes no sense, but that's the ending. Take the Patchy plot out. You didn't really need it. You take the Patchy plot stuff out, this could be a half-hour show, like the last one. But we have to extend it because this is a musical special. And again, You take out the patchy stuff, you take out the musical stuff, it could just be a half-hour episode, and it's fine. And it was kind of disappointing. I thought this was going to be better than Where's Gary or Have You Seen This Snail? But it's effectively got a same kind of plot point, right? If someone went off the plot point, the plot would be SpongeBob and his friends go to Atlantis, but SpongeBob and Patrick pop the longest living bubble. But like I said, them popping the longest living bubble is what really kicks off the final act of this 40-minute special. So it's not really the plot. The plot is that while they're out trying to take pictures of bubbles, and they pop before he even gets to take a picture of them, which makes no sense later when he takes a picture of the longest living bubble and it pops. Shouldn't it be when he goes to take a picture of it, it pops, and then he takes the picture to go with the gag from earlier? But no. And then, what happened? They end up in a cave of some sort. How did they get to the cave? They had the bubbles. I don't remember how they got to the cave. They just end up in the cave. And they find the other half of the medallion, and they go to take it to the museum to show them. And that's when I find out that actually there's two parts. And everyone important to this series just so happens to be there. Mr. Krabs is there trying to scam people out of money. Squidward is there trying to paint something. And Stanley just pops in out of nowhere. So they put the medallion together. It summons a van to take them to Atlantis. And going on with these people just showing up, Plankton just so happens to also have snuck on board of this van. Because of course he has. And it takes them to Atlantis, and we sing songs about it, of course. And they make it. And we get this long-nosed guy, this super high superior guy, Lord Highness, or something like that. I don't know the name. And he gives them a tour. Sandy wants to look at all the sciencey stuff. Mr. Krabs is only interested in the treasure because money. Squidward wants to know about, I don't know, history, architecture, something like that. And the other two, SpongeBob and Patrick want to see the longest living bubble. So take them on the tour. They see the bubble. Patrick takes a picture of it. It pops. And then they freak out. And, Plankton sneaks in and steals. He's going to the armory. He wants the Atlantean weapons. This is the part that disappointed me, because it's such a cop-out. I know it's a kid's show, it's supposed to be funny, but it just... He would have them... That doesn't make any sense, but... Okay, Patrick confesses they destroyed the bubble, but the stupid High Lord Commander or whatever is like, oh, that was a fake one, this is the real one right here. Patrick takes a picture of it, and it pops. So now they're in big trouble, but this is when Plankton bursts in with the machine. He's going to shoot them, and everybody, including all the guards, are afraid. And then it just shoots out ice cream. So why were the guards afraid? Yes, ice cream. Plankton is arrested and put in the place of the bubble. It's the new thing, but we see him afterwards, so there's no continuity there. I know he's shown up after that. I don't know if they explain it or not, but then everybody gets in the van to go home, and the Super High Lord Commander guy orders his guy to get rid of the amulet so they can't come back, and they leave. And I'm like, okay, here it is, the end. No, we gotta sing a song about going back to Bikini Bottom. Though nobody but SpongeBob and Patrick want to go back to Bikini Bottom, but And then we go back to Patchy again. I had a few more things. Like this, them saying at the end makes sense because they established that so that they can make excuses for why this is a musical, despite the fact they were already singing before this. The van is powered by song, which is incredibly stupid. It's there to serve the fact this is a musical, so it gives them a reason for them to sing, but they were already singing before they got on this van, so it makes no sense where they had to throw that in there. Plankton's plan to take over Atlantis should work in theory, but this is a kid's show, but also it can't work, so machine has ice cream. But it makes no sense that the guards and people of Atlantis are scared at this. They should be like, what's so funny? Ice cream. That's what's funny. But the guards are generally going, why are they afraid of ice cream? I was going, It's only to subvert the expectation of the viewer, is what it is. They have to be afraid, or you're going to know that there's a joke at the end. The joke is, ice creams! Yeah. Or as Schwartz would say, ice creams. This is fine. I'm not expecting high art from SpongeBob, but I expected better. Do it better. It was whatever, a 40-minute special. Like I said, you take out the patchy stuff, take out the musical sequences, you got a half-hour special there. That's it. It's an extended special that doesn't need the musical stuff or patchy, especially the patchy stuff. You know, it is what it is. But yeah. So, what are your thoughts on Atlantis, Squarepantis? Apparently, there's a video game, and it is also not very good. Let me comment so much, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.